Good morning, South Jersey, and welcome into the locker room with Billy Schweim right here on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app. It's a great day, but it's a great day. It's the weekend, and it's time to talk sports. And in the locker room with me today, we got Mike Carlin. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning.
How you
Glad
doing,
to be
man?
here, and today is my day.
Yeah, you're really we talked during the week a little bit, and you're a big college guy.
College
man.
football,
basketball, the whole nine
last
yards.
weekend was unbelievable football. Today is going to be one of the best days, and then now you got basketball starting, and that's starting to heat up. But today is, to me, it's all about college football.
All right. Well, last week we were all pumped up for the Eagles. I mean, everybody, you included, everybody picked the Eagles to win over the New York Giants. And, of course, we know how that turned out. They missed a golden opportunity. And a lot of stuff happened in that game that I want to talk about with you. And even our producer, Josh Hennig, can chime in with some of his thoughts. Because I think that, blow a golden opportunity? Absolutely. But what transpired in that game, some of the mistakes they made, and with Devontae Smith coming off the field, irate that he's not getting the ball, and Jalen Hurts making some mistakes that we haven't seen him make. It was, and it's the game plan itself stunk.
It was a game they should have won. Not that they could have won. They should have won. But as bad as they played, I always try to look at the good stuff. As bad as they played, they had two golden opportunities to win that game at the end. You make one of those two passes, you're going to win that game.
Right.
But you're right.
We're going to talk about Jalen Reagor. I mean, that just goes to show you, Josh. And we talked about how Roseman's missed on a couple draft choices, and last week, in the last couple of weeks, Brad Quast, my other co-host, made it clear that if you don't hit on your first round draft choice, you're going to pay for it. You're in trouble. You're in trouble.
You are. Well, that gets back to the news that came out this week, and I don't know if you guys, No, now for the full disclosure, Billy and I don't talk a lot during the week.
Well, not now. I'm busy.
Billy texts Mike Gill way more than he talks to me, which I think is hilarious because those two don't agree on anything. The sky could be blue, and Billy says it's gray, and Mike says it's purple. But so the news came out this week, that the people who drafted, we know now who drafted Jalen Reagor.
Right.
It was Howie and Doug.
Yep.
Doug Peterson and Howie Roseman went to Jeffrey Lurie on draft day in their virtual meeting and said, we're not going to go to the board. The board, which was set by Andy Weidel, who has now worked for two Super Bowl winning franchises, Andy Weidel, said, you should take Jefferson.
Right.
But Peterson said, I want Reagor because he fits my offense. Howie agreed with Doug. They overruled the board. And in fact, Doug Peterson is personally responsible for both Jalen's being drafted. He said, I want Reagor, I want Hurts. So if you blame anybody for what's going on, I understand we got to blame Howie because he's part of the responsibility. But
the head coach is the one was telling.
Do not vacate that, because the person pounding his fist on this topic and no one's refuting it is Chris Mortensen. I think I pretty much trust Chris Mortensen.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I knew last week, in the back of my mind, it stuck out with every single Mike Gill, Scott Grayson, everybody picked the Eagles last week.
Why wouldn't you?
Everybody. No, I know. But here's the thing. So let me ask you this question. When we look at the schedule, we as Eagle fans, we looked at the schedule and go, oh, the second half of the schedule's easy. We got the
5 out of 6.
What do you think? What do you think Washington and the Jets are saying? We got the Eagles.
Right.
They're looking at us thinking they're licking their chops because they're thinking that, look, we've got the Eagles.
Yeah.
Right?
It's exactly right. But we are who we are, and we were already talking playoffs, and we can still keep talking playoffs if you want, but I think it's going to come down to the beginning of the year. What did we all say the Eagles were? We were all picking 8, maybe
I had
9.
them 8 and 9, and I still think they can achieve that.
So that's an average team.
That doesn't make the playoffs.
Right. We're an average team.
Well, in this league, it might because of how mediocre the back end of the NFC is. You have first of all, outside of Tampa and Green Bay, you guys have faith in any other team?
No,
No,
absolutely not. I mean, no.
And could we beat the Jets this week? Yes. Could we get Washington?
No.
Yes.
Should we beat the Jets?
Oh, yeah. We should beat the Jets.
Beat them. I mean, could we go on a road now of 4 in a row?
We've never lost to the Jets. The team's 11-0.
Game, who knows what Dallas' position is going to be? We may have a gimme there, but you don't know. We have to start playing every game one at a time, like the coaches always say, one game at a time, and not be thinking down the road, not be thinking playoffs, not just take one game. Let's beat the Jets.
I don't, for the life of me, I don't know why Sirianni came into that game last week with try to change it up and throw the ball when the Giants. I mean, I don't get it.
Something's going good.
Why would you go away with what's working?
I'll tell you why. Because Sirianni age is just a number in life. He's still immature. He still wants to show everybody how smart he
knows
is.
everything.
Look, go back to the 49ers game. He wanted to show that he was as smart as Kyle Shanahan and a bit him in the rear. They should have won that game. You don't hold the 49ers to 17 points and lose that game. And you know what? The Eagles even held the Giants at 13 points. And you know what? They still lost the game. To me, I understand that there were 4 turnovers. And we can rip Hurts and Rager and Boston Scott and Greg Ward all be one for the drops and the interceptions and turnovers. But the head coach is calling the plays. Nick, stop trying to be the smartest guy in the room.
And that's the thing that bothers me. Despite all those mistakes, they still could have won that game and should have won that game.
And it would have been one of those games that you leave, you get in the locker room, you say, guys, just get on the bus and let's get out of here.
No,
we didn't belong here.
But that defines a good team, a team that wins games they should lose.
At the end.
Right? You turn the ball over like that, you're not going to win. You shouldn't win. And now, you know what? And I wrote an article on 97.3 ESPN.com every Friday. The underachieving was the
theme.
It was the theme of that. Our teams are underachieving. We led the Sixers last night. The Flyers, losers of 7 straight.
And it went from we were all talking about the Flyers to this last 10 days. It's like, oh my God.
You know what it is? I tell you what, when I watch the Flyers game, I don't see a goalie can't stop a puck that he can't see. And nobody's creating any traffic in front of the net. It's a basic thing. It's a basic concept.
I asked you guys off the record, off the show, and I mean off the show once, because I'm not a true hockey fan and know like you guys. And I was like, when you're in a stint like this, when someone would call for a closed door meeting with just the players to say, guys, we got to get our acts together here. We got the new year's coming on. We got to start getting ready.
Right.
Who in your mind do you think is that player to call?
Well, it should be Giroux.
But it's not.
It's not.
And that's why you traded for all these other guys. Your Atkinsons, your Ristolainens, problem is Ryan Ellis is injured right now.
So with that being said, Josh, it's still early, and the Flyers and the Sixers can thank the Eagles for being, the talk of the town.
Taking the weight off
because
of
they can. I mean, the Flyers. Could you imagine if this was February and they lost 7 straight, Josh?
Well, Bill,
and listen, we've had Chuck Fletcher on here, Josh. We had Chuck Fletcher on here 2 times last year, and I still praise the moves. Josh, he didn't sit idle. He tried to get better. He tried to make moves. He brought in quality guys.
And they did get better.
I think this is something they're going through. There's highs and lows. Like I've talked and Berube's always told me,
but Bill,
don't get too high, don't get too low. I get it.
Isn't stretches like this the reason why coaches get fired?
It is.
In the NHL?
It is.
You talk about Berube. Why did he get hired? Because the Blues as a team went to hell. They had the worst odds to win the Stanley Cup at the moment that Berube got hired in NHL history.
Right.
For as long as we've been tracking betting odds, they had the worst odds to win the Stanley Cup when they fired the head coach.
Well, he got hired in like December, right? Or January.
It was January.
Yeah, January.
Okay.
And they were dead last place.
They were dead last place. So you mentioned Berube. Berube knows firsthand. He's seen it. He's been the guy had to take over a team that went into the dumpster and had to resurrect them. And I'm telling you right now, I am not a huge advocate for just firing guys willy-nilly, but there's something to be said for the fact that Vigneault doesn't have an answer right now.
And there's too many good guys on this team to not have an answer.
And he'll be the first to go. How about let's look at the Sixers, talking about their mediocrity. Now, I know, I wrote in my article, I know they haven't all been on the court for any lengthy period of time to gel, to mesh. But with that being said, who's the guy on the Sixers that wakes the team up? It's not. Is it Embiid? I don't think so. Is it Danny Green?
Well, last night it was Embiid.
Well, no, I'm not talking about. I
think you're talking about someone in the locker room, at practice, or on the team
I don't
bus.
I don't see Embiid in that role. Do you?
No, I think Green's a big talker on that team.
Green's really the best. He's the one with the rings on.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I think
he's got the cred. He's got the cred.
Behind the scenes where the young team is. Even though he's not that old, we have some young guys on this team that look up and say, "Man, he's won a couple championships. He's been with the Lakers. I mean, he's been around." And hopefully he's taking that lead. I would think that he's taking that lead of being the talker.
He has. I mean, there's a lot of reports that Danny Green is one of the voices in the locker room.
Yeah.
I know that Tobias, for example, he's the guy who takes a lot of the younger players, like younger than him, like the Maxis and the Thibaults aside and tells them, don't do this, do this. But Danny Green is kind of like the overall voice in the locker room, because at the end of the day, you know, aside from Doc, he's really the only guy on this team that has championship experience.
We got a great show lined up today, man. We got a lot to do.
College
I'm
football.
pumped
College
up. We got
football.
college football. We're going to talk with the Sportsbook Consigliere Dave Sharapan is going to check in from Vegas. I can't wait to. You better have your picks. Last week, 2 weeks ago, he ripped you.
There's no Navy. Trust me. There's no Navy.
The Army Navy games next week.
Yeah.
We got Dave Sharapan from Vegas. Then we're going to talk from Brad Quast. He's going to call in. He's on his way to New York, up to North Jersey to see the Jets game. He's going to the Eagles-Jets game. And then I'm really excited about this get. This is a good get, Mike. Former Sixers general manager, former vice president of basketball operations for Orlando Magic.
Co-founder
of the Orlando Magic.
When everybody laughed at him.
Pat Williams.
Pat Williams is coming on. Good friend.
So you said, and when you told me that we could get him, you said he tells great stories.
He's got stories that will blow your mind.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just a great guy.
So we got a lot to do today. We'll try to pack it all in. We got 2 hours. Then we got the Big 12 championship, Baylor at Oklahoma, followed by the SEC championship, Georgia and Alabama, which is going to be a big game.
Big
I know Mike's licking his chops, and then Michigan, Iowa. And you know our Brad Quast is he's in a 3-point stance. Get ready for that game, Josh.
I hate to disappoint Brad, but unless his team can learn how to score some points, I don't think they're winning tonight.
Be a lot of field goals. They could have 3 field goals and have 9 points.
We got all that and more. The first hour of the locker room is powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers, sellers, real estate agents, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. Surety is an issue-wide leader with a team of experts that help you through the entire process, from contract signing to closing, from the shortest center city and every place in between. Surety Title is there for you with 15 office locations in New Jersey and PA. That's Surety Title. For more information, call my good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900. My Winter Watchdog, great company, great new company. Have you heard of New Jersey's premier vacant home management service, My Winter Watchdog? You know those worrisome thoughts that creep into your mind every time you hear of a storm coming and the daunting task of driving down to the shore to check on your house, hours of time on the road. Let My Winter Watchdog be your eyes and ears with their 15-point inspection checklist. They offer a full menu of maintenance and improvement services. Owner Debbie McGonigal and her team of property caretakers are professional, licensed, bonded, and insured. So don't let the winter worry you. They'll give your house that lived-in look. That's My Winter Watchdog. Go to mywinterwatchdog.com or give them a call at 267-202-1869. That's 267-202-1869, or send Debbie an email, debbie@mywinterwatchdog.com. All right, when we return, we'll continue with more football talk. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim, Mike Carlin, right here on 97.3 ESPN.
This is the radio home for Philadelphia Eagles football, with the Eagles in North Jersey against the Jets.
The Philadelphia Eagles have now beat the Jets 11 times and lost to them never.
Pre-game coverage begins tomorrow at noon. Merrill and Mike call all the action starting at 1. This is where the Eagles play. 97.3 ESPN, South Jersey's Eagles station.
Ocean City's real estate market is red hot. You need an agent that has the knowledge and expertise to help. Contact Ocean City's top agent, Mark Rhymes. Mark has been selling real estate for 30 years in South Jersey. He can answer all your real estate questions and find you the perfect property. He's available anytime on his cell at 609-425-2042. When Philadelphia star athletes are looking for a house at the beach, they contact Mark Rhymes, specializing in buying and selling vacation homes, single-family homes, condominiums, and duplexes, residential and commercial, as well as new construction projects or investment opportunities. Mark Rhymes, he's your agent at the beach. Give him a call right now, 609-425-2042, or check out his website at grimes.com. Finding an electrician that is dependable, prompt, and experienced is important. Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Service is just that. Service in Atlantic and Cape May counties for 40 years, Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services specializes in both commercial and residential work and provides 24-hour emergency services. No job too big and no job too small. Call Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services. They do it all. Call for a free estimate, 609-399-1999.
Call Tom Jackson & Sons for electrical, they're number one.
All right, we're back here in the locker room with Billy Schweim, Mike Carlin, 97.3 ESPN, and the mobile app. You know, Jalen Hurts last week, what was his quarterback rating? Was like, what, 17 or something like that?
Yeah.
Can you get that low? I guess you can.
He proved you can.
Well, interceptions will do that.
Oh, my God. 17, Mike. I mean, that's horrible.
Remember, just
14 to 31.
Before this game, it was all, we don't have to worry about the draft picks, and we don't have to worry about a new quarterback.
Right.
We have our quarterback. Now, all of a sudden, you have a game like that, you got people thinking in their heads again.
So I want to be honest with you, and Josh knows this. He's been with me for a long, long time, and I've been very patient and I've been wanting to give Jalen Hurts the benefit of the doubt. I have, like, there's people that he's not the franchise, he's not the quarterback moving forward. I haven't been that guy. I've been really patient with him because I like quarterbacks that have the intangible, the leadership quality. I like quarterbacks that are winners. I like quarterbacks that that the team, the guys rally around. That's a big component.
They come from a good program. You come from a good program.
But that's a big component of being a quarterback.
Right.
And I think he possesses all those qualities. So I want to give him a chance.
Me too.
But the mistakes that he made last week, I don't know now, man.
But are you going to hold one game against the guy?
No, I'm
that's what I
not,
was
but
gonna say,
it gives me
Josh.
pause, Josh.
Well, you should have pause about everything and everyone, don't you? Right?
Remember, it's still really almost his first year.
Remember, Peyton
Okay.
Manning.
But now it's his last week was his 16th game, Josh.
But guys, Peyton Manning led the NFL in interceptions as a rookie.
I know.
Yeah.
I know,
Okay.
I know.
Being part of being young is understanding that guys need time to develop. Here's an example. So you know how the Dolphins are keep telling us that Tua is their guy,
Right.
right? Well, Tua has now started 16 games. So is Jalen Hurts. Their stats are almost identical. So if Miami is sticking with Tua, and the only reason why they give up on Tua is they can get Deshaun Watson, I'm not giving up on Jalen Hurts unless they get a guy like Russell Wilson. Because I talked about this with Mike Clay of ESPN yesterday on my show. And Billy, let me ask you this. You know, if we live in a world where guys like Kirk Cousins and Jimmy Garoppolo are leading teams in the postseason,
Right.
who would you rather have? Some run-of-the-mill quarterback or a guy with the leadership qualities of Hurts?
And look at Kaepernick. I mean, he took him to the Super Bowl.
Well, he was one pass away from winning,
Right.
too.
I know.
So I mean, you can win in the NFL with any kind of quarterback. But guys, the big thing for the Eagles isn't Hurts. I'm concerned about the head coach.
Now, you know what? Just he's
young too.
He's young
First year.
too, man. He'll learn. I don't know. I'm skeptical of him as well. If you were to ask me who do I believe in more, Jalen Hurts or Sirianni? Who would you say?
Hurts
Hurts right now, yeah.
Hurts.
Hurts,
right.
Without even thinking about it.
We're not even thinking about it. And the coaching staff has been putting Hurts in a good position prior to last week's game.
Well,
And then all of a sudden they change. I don't get it.
The only reason I say Hurts right away is because how important that position is. There's just not many good quarterbacks out there.
But here's the
There's
thing.
good coaches out there. You can bring a coach in and things can change.
But
quick.
here's the thing.
You got to
Mike.
have the quarterback.
You know, like a running quarterback, Hurts took some big hits last week.
Mhm.
And you can't expose, your quarterback cannot take, I don't care who you are, you can't take those hits.
Eventually you're going to get hurt.
Eventually it's going to catch up to you. And you know what? And I'm not saying because he took some big hits is the reason why he threw those interceptions, but when you're running that much and you're dependent on your legs as a quarterback in the NFL to make plays like that, it's going to throw your passing game off.
Well, that's why people were concerned now that he has his ankle injury. How does that affect the
He
game?
might not
now?
even play Sunday.
Well, I think that
Oh, he's going to play.
I think Sirianni, unless he practiced on
Right. He's
Friday.
going to play.
Yeah, I know, but
They're trying to send a message to the Jets to try to prepare for
Ooh,
two
prepare.
quarterbacks.
I hate
Yeah,
when
that-
coaches
yeah.
do this.
Yeah,
Can you
that's-
give
he's
me
playing.
10 seconds on this?
I think the Jets.
I hate
He was
Sean
laughing.
Payton, Doug Peterson, Bruce Arians,
Right.
Nick Sirianni, Matt
they
Nagy.
play games.
Shut up and just tell us who's playing quarterback.
I'm not sure
Stop
who's
playing
playing.
games.
All right,
Yeah.
ready for this, guys? If you're a coach, Mike, put your coach hat on.
Okay.
All right. If you see a team that's 31st total defense and they're like 27 against the rush, 29 against the pass, you know his eyes are lighting up. What do you think he's thinking? Do you think he's thinking let's run the ball, let's run it, or you think you see that the team's 29th against the pass? The Jets are.
I would hope that if he isn't thinking it, that's why you have assistants. That's why you have someone that you you brought in
You
for a
better come-
reason
like
for
right
an
now,
assistant to come up and say, whoa, are you sure about this? This is what we should be doing. coach."
right?
Okay. That's what I'm hoping.
Well, remember, that was the problem for Doug. Remember, Bill? The issue people had with Doug Peterson was as soon as he lost Frank Reich, he lost the accountability guy in
downhill.
his ear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
So
That's
who's
right.
the accountability guy in Sirianni's ear? We don't know.
3-8 Jets, 5-7 Eagles. I'm telling you, like, I'm tired of hearing people saying, "Oh, the last part of our schedule's easy." It's not. Not
It's
after
game to
last week.
game.
It's game to game, and it's not after last week because the Jets are probably saying, "Hey, we got the Eagles coming in.
Yeah.
We're gonna get help. We're gonna get better on them."
And every week there's a game out there where we say, oh, this team's definitely going to beat that team. And you wake up the next day, they lost. I mean, the NFL this year, it's literally up and down. It's all over.
How pissed off were you last week? I mean, you only give up 13 points, you lose a game.
Again, I thought we were going to win it. With a minute left, I was like, oh, we're going to sneak this one.
Right?
out.
I
Thank
thought-
God
I
we're going to sneak
know.
this out.
I
And when he
believed it
saw
all the way to the
pass,
very end, Mike.
And then when he dropped it, I'm thinking, oh, okay, where's the flag? Maybe I'm hoping. And I'm thinking, okay, that was just good defense. He just dropped it. Yeah, okay. It was sick.
I don't want to keep beating a dead horse, but this Singleton guy is just driving me nuts. And I know the guys like him. I know
You're
Josh.
bent out of shape
Josh,
over someone on the
he
defense.
just drives me
The defense
nuts.
allowed 13 points.
He
You're
drives
running
me
single-
nuts.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, this guy, Billy Schweim over here,
you-
he's so obsessed over a guy
There's-
who had
there's a-
almost
Guess
zero,
what? Guess what,
zero
Josh?
consequence on the game.
There's
Guess
a
what,
lot-
Josh? They're missing Davian Taylor.
Yeah.
They're
But did
missing him.
But Alex Singleton drop
Yeah.
passes?
He didn't
Did he
lose that
drop
game.
touchdowns? Did he fumble the ball? Did he throw an interception?
I need
No.
a scapegoat. He's it.
I'm
He's
not-
my
not-
scapegoat.
Even though he plays defense.
He must owe you money or something. So you gotta give him
Exactly. Did he
Come on.
do you wrong?
I
Did
don't
he
know.
like
I
never
just-
call you back?
I just look at him and I see that when I see a weak
He looks
defense,
at him.
I look at him.
Does he
He
remind
stands
you?
out. He
money.
pisses
You're the
me
guy
off.
who lost the
Does he
game.
remind you of a kid who
Yeah.
bullied you when
It
you were
wasn't,
younger?
no, it wasn't Jalen Hurts' fault. It was Singleton's fault. He just
Oh,
gets under
boy.
my skin, Mike.
You got to move on.
All right.
Got to move
I'm
on.
going to move on because the first hour of the locker was powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers, sellers, real estate agents, brokers, lenders, homeowners, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. Surety is an industry-wide leader with a team of experts to help you through the entire process, from contract signing to closing of the shortest center city and every place in between. Surety Title is there for you with 15 office locations in New Jersey, PA. That's Surety Title. For more information, call my good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900. By the way, so last week we tried to get in touch with Joe Lenigan because out of all the people that had predictions last at the beginning of the year, Lenigan had him going 12-5. So I was believing the hype. I tried to get Joe on a hook last week. But then all of a sudden, he didn't answer the phone. That's why the Eagles lost.
Yeah.
I'm blaming Joe. He
had 12
told me
wins.
I'm the jinx.
So Billy's blaming Alex Singleton and Joe Lenigan for the Eagles' loss, even though neither of them threw an interception, had a fumble, or dropped the pass. Got it.
All right. They at a locker room at Blitz's Market want to discount your Eagles game day meal during the Eagles season on game day. Get an Italian hoagie for just $5 when you mention the locker room. Get down to Blitz's all season long at 21st and Asbury Avenue in Ocean City. Blitz's now has online ordering at blitzesmarkets.com or give them a call at 609-399-9983. Blitz's is home and a dill pickle hoagie. It's really a big deal. Hey, listen, friends, let me tell you about Maserati, the main line, located just minutes from downtown Philadelphia. They offer a client-focused car buying experience designed to exceed all expectations and invite you to stop and see the area's largest selection of new Maseratis, including the sporty Ghibli midsize sedan or the class-leading Levante, the only SUV worthy of being called a Maserati. Maserati, the mainline, also leads the nation's certified pre-owned sales and has the highest quality like new Maseratis available on the market. Your experience does not end at the point of a sale, as Maserati, the mainline, offers free pickup and delivery of scheduled service appointments and provides a new Maserati loaner car. So be audacious. Call my good friend Michael Pileggi at Maserati, the mainline, today at 484-804-4800. That's 484-804-4800, or visit him online anytime at motml.com. All right, when we return, we'll go to the Sportsbook Consigliere Dave Sharapan. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN.
Today on ESPN Radio, it's the Big 12 championship game. 9th-ranked Baylor goes head-to-head with 5th-ranked Oklahoma State at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Oklahoma State sits just outside of the playoff. Can a win in a Big 12 title game get them in? 9th-ranked Baylor, 5th-ranked Oklahoma State. It's College Football Saturday on 97.3 ESPN. Coverage begins at noon.
Train presents The Unstoppables. Those captains of comfort, those gargantuans of the guarantee, those satisfaction savants who persevere perilously beyond probability as the raconteurs of reliability. Here's to Train's heralded heroes of heating and air conditioning, those comfort kings with a tireless tenacity for total turnaround. The Train Comfort Specialists. Just one more reason why it's hard to stop a train.
Hi, this is Joe Lenigan, owner of Lenigan Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Call us today for your free train system quote at 609-399-1200 or online at ocnjplumber.com. And please don't forget to ask for the military and senior discount.
Call and again and again. Call and again and again.
Randazzo's Pizza, Randazzo's Pizza, Randazzo's Pizza, the pizza you're gonna love. It's got the freshest taste that you'll find any place. Randazzo's Pizza, there's one right nearby. Randazzo's Pizza, Randazzo's Pizza. It's a pizza like you've never had before. Eat it or take it home, no matter where you roam. Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find. Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find.
Why would you call anyone else besides Randazzo's Pizzeria and Family Restaurant, 34th and Asbury Avenue in Ocean City. Open year-round, 7 days a week, offering free delivery on the whole island and to the beach. Pizza, pasta, salads, entrees, subs, paninis, and wraps. Voted best of the shore. Call 814-1600. 814-1600.
Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find. Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find.
If you suspect you have mold in your home, water damage in your basement or crawl space, or a foundation problem, call Perfect Basement. If you're selling your home, address the problems before your buyer discovers them. Perfect Basement provides free, no-pressure inspections for waterproofing, mold remediation, and foundation repair. They're family-owned in South Jersey, licensed and certified, and accredited by the Better Business Bureau. Visit perfectbasement.com and check out their exclusive price guarantee and great reviews. That's perfectbasement.com.
All right, we're back here in the locker room with Billy Schweim, Mike Carlin. This is my favorite segment because every time we bring this gentleman up, it's always interesting to see what he's wearing and what he's talking about. You can check him out on Twitter. Follow him on Twitter at SportsBK Consig. He's got the podcast Cash Considerations. He's everywhere. He's from Vegas. Let's go to the Maserati, the Mainline Sports Hotline, and welcome into the locker room the Sportsbook Consigliere Dave Sharapan.
He's got the A's.
He's got the A's.
He's got the A's today.
He's throwing me for a loop. What's up, Dave?
What's up, guys? Good to see you, Billy, Mike, and of course, Josh.
Did you get your coffee? Did you drink your coffee yet? Did you?
Listen, I had to get up early, run and walk a couple laps to get ready to go. It's a little chilly this morning in Vegas. So, God, I got to talk to Billy. Here we go. Who's he bringing with me? Coming, and I'm thinking, what are we going to talk about? And I know one game that we always hit every week was the Eagles. And the Eagles are playing the Jets. There's green. I'm going through the closet going, I got to find something green to wear. This is what I came up with. It's the only thing I got, Billy, that's green.
Wait,
I
you don't
got
have
no
any.
other
You
green.
don't have any Eagles stuff.
Billy, are you nuts? I grew up
You
in
don't have
Pittsburgh.
any Eagles
I'm a
stuff?
Pittsburgh guy. Listen,
Yeah, but we're your NFC team, Dave.
Billy, for a lot of years. Listen, I rooted for them in 1980. Jaws. I wanted them to win that game so bad. I can't stand the Raiders. Now the Raiders are in my city. I can't ever get Raiders stuff. I told my co-host is from, outside of Philly. We talk about the Eagles every week.
Yeah.
We have a nickname for them. You got to listen to the show because they break your heart every single week. I told him if the Eagles make the playoffs, I'll get the Eagles stuff. Until then, I ain't got no Eagles stuff, Billy. So I wore green for you.
Well, we know where to get you a hat. We can go to the all campus.
Absolutely.
In Ocean City, New Jersey.
Yeah, John's got a zillion hats. I want to get a throwback though. I like the Kelly green.
By the way, so Mike, when we saw the Sportsbook Consigliere with the baseball, I'm thinking, what baseball? My first thing was, as soon as I saw him, like, they're locked out. Why has he got baseball on? But now that you explained it, I understand.
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't want to go too fast. And plus, I might wear a baseball something every day to remind these people, get it together and figure it out, because you guys are all, they're blowing it. They're blowing the whole thing, but that's a whole nother story.
All right. Consig.
Yes.
Big day in college football today. Big day.
Billy,
you got to be you just got to be all excited.
Told the kids they're going to be taken care of pretty much throughout the day. Daddy's got to watch football. People are going to probably stop in 2 or 3 different books today. There's people in town. The rodeo's in Vegas. It's nonstop. It's
that's
crazy.
A big thing. Rodeo's big. Rodeo's like the
rodeo's
Super Bowl.
big.
Yeah.
Mike,
It's like Super Bowl.
gigantic.
Yeah, it's big.
Yeah, I'm the only person.
Rodeo. It's a rodeo in here.
They take over the whole town.
They take over the whole town, Billy. I'm telling you. And I'm the only person not wearing a cowboy hat or cowboy boots.
Yeah.
And I don't have one of those.
It's not for the Cowboys.
He's exactly right.
They're real
Forget the
Cowboys.
Yeah,
Right.
thank goodness. Yes.
All right, listen, we got a triple header right here on 97.3 ESPN.
Let's go.
Okay,
what do you got?
We have the Big 12 championship, Baylor, Oklahoma State. So since our listeners can just tune into that, let's start with that game, Dave.
So early number indicated that Baylor was the play, where it started 6.5, 6, it went down 5, that was the low, and then boom, people came right back on Oklahoma State. I like Oklahoma State, despite me wearing green. Baylor got green in their uniform, actually same colors as this. So I could have sold that, but I'm not buying it. Of all the dogs, though, that are playing today, Billy, I think Baylor has the best shot to win the game. So
Me too.
Cautious on this one. But I like Oklahoma State for a Big 12 game. The total is 45.5. That's a big indicator. I think this thing stays under. I think it's a tight, low-scoring game, which is not what you would normally think of with these two teams. But Oklahoma State's defense is for real.
All right, so if people are stuck in their car, they can't get to the TV, they're listening to 97.3 ESPN. Our second game, of course, is the SEC championship game, Georgia, Alabama. Now, Mike Carlin, it just seems for some reason Georgia can never win this game. Right?
You're exactly
Can
right.
Georgia ever win this game?
And they're
There's
always
no more Herschel Walker.
There's no. You're going way back, but
Herschel Walker. That was like 80.
Just 2-3 years
That's
ago.
what they want.
It was Georgia this, Georgia that.
I think Georgia's won since then.
Yeah.
Come on.
But you could never count out Alabama. Alabama always rises to the occasion, but not. I don't think this year. I think
This
Georgia's
is-
really for real.
First time in 93 games, that's over 6 years, that Bama's been an underdog in a game is today.
Wow.
6.5 point spread. Okay. I like Georgia. I don't think Bama's going to score enough to keep up. Now, the only way, if Bama's defense rises to the occasion and keeps this game close, it looks a lot like Georgia Clemson did in week 1, where nobody could score, and then there's a defensive touchdown, and that's the decider. Like, this could be one of those defensive games. It could be in play here, but then this could turn into one of those SEC shootouts if Bama finds a way to score a few touchdowns and they trade scores. I think it plays out the first way. Georgia under. I think Georgia beats them by double digits.
Wow.
No kidding. Ooh.
Yeah.
Dave, here's your little factoid for the day. Alabama has the youngest defense in college football by age.
Wow. And
Oklahoma
all
State
football,
has
Josh?
the oldest.
Wow.
Wow.
See that?
Well, Oklahoma State is by far what in my opinion, I've been on them for weeks watching their defense play. Like they're grown men.
Yeah,
They
now-
average
right, I know
23
that.
years old, Dave.
Yeah.
23.
They're an old team.
They're an old team.
They all
Well,
got left
they're
back.
grown men. Hey, whatever works, they can tackle. I know that they wrap up and they cover. That's all I need
See,
you
I'm
to do.
surprised you think that the Bulldogs can win this in double digit. I just don't see it.
Billy, did you watch the Alabama game?
No,
last week?
but it bad.
I don't
that help.
Billy said I didn't watch the game. Then he
Billy,
told me
Josh,
Alabama's going to win.
Josh,
No, I
Josh,
just don't
You
trust
remember
it.
last week you were the one that said when Alabama was playing Auburn?
I've been saying
and you
for
said,
a month.
watch
I
Auburn.
said
It's
for
gonna-
a month. Auburn's the play. You
I think
play
that's
the
today.
spread.
All right, but I'm talking about this particular game, Georgia, Alabama. I don't buy it. Now I'm going to take because I trust the Sportsbook Consigliere Dave Sharapan. I'm going to look at it. But prior to that, I was like, no way.
See that's a game that I'm just going to sit back,
And just
have
enjoy
a cold
it.
one,
Yeah,
and I'm
have
going to
a-
enjoy it. Like
Right.
have nothing on. And I just want to watch a great game. And
I hope
think
it-
it's gonna be a great game.
Mike, I hope it's a great game, but I don't think it's going to be. I think Georgia's defense is going to dominate, and it's going to be a 2-score difference for a while. I mean, this could be 14-3 for a long time, like one of those games. You know,
Yeah, dragon.
we'll see.
Then in our nightcap, the Big Ten Championship, Michigan, Iowa.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
how do you see this one shaking out? Sportsbook Consigliere.
Billy, Iowa kids, they beat Nebraska last week on Friday, right? We talk about Saturday. We didn't even mention Iowa being in the mix. We came here last week, said Michigan was going to cover against Ohio State, that they were very live to win the game, and they did. So Iowa, they were going to prepare for the Pool-on Weed Eater Bowl or some other stuff. They get told they're going to play for the Big Ten Championship after Wisconsin loses to Minnesota. So now you're preparing for finals. No, you're preparing to block Hutchinson in that defense for Michigan. Like,
Wow.
boys, we got to go to Indy and play another game. Right. Like, I don't think Iowa is going to score more than 13 points. Okay.
Exactly what I
The
said.
total in this
Exactly what I
game,
said.
the total in this game is around 43 and a half. If they only get 13, all I got to do is get 24 to push or more than 24 to cover. It's a math problem, Billy. I don't know if you were good at math, but I know
I'm a history
Mike
major.
and Josh were. You're probably not good at math. I don't know what you're teaching and all that other stuff. Probably an English teacher.
No, history.
Michigan blowout today. Michigan blowout.
Brad Quasta's not going to like to hear that.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know who Brad is.
He
but
may
it
not
ain't
call
perfect.
in now. He was supposed to call in, and he may
He
not call
might not
in.
call
in.
He just went right off the road.
I'm just telling you.
All right,
Blowout.
Mike's going to hit you with some pro games.
Let's go.
All right, and it won't be Navy, so we're going to talk pro.
You got me last time, Mike. You got me. I was like,
Navy
what,
covered.
Navy?
Navy covered.
They did cover. You were all over. We
Yeah.
were both
All right,
all
let's
over.
go pros. Let's go pros.
All right.
I love the Rams minus 13.
You
the
love
Giants.
the Rams? All right.
I do.
First order of business, Mike, in a sports book, you never say you love anything. Because when you love anything, that means it's probably not going to cover. You can
Oh.
really like a team,
I like
but
it
you
then.
can't love nothing. I don't love nothing about the pick, Mike. I'm sorry. I would
I
take
get
the
it.
Jacksonville Jaguars plus the points. It's too many points. What do you love about the Rams and that offense that thinks they're going to cover double digits right now?
I think eventually, and this is the week, I think it's all going to come together. See, I
Well,
see a score
Mike,
of
man,
like
Dave's tearing you apart
I
the
know.
last couple
That's
weeks.
okay.
I'm not tearing anybody
That's
apart.
why-
I'm just
that's why I
I
like
said don't
I
fall
don't
in
want them
love.
to
He
just-
said don't fall in love.
Don't fall.
But
in love.
I think
Isn't
the
that
Rams.
a
I think the
song?
Rams are too good of a team that eventually they're going to put everything together this week. And I see like a 41-10. I mean, I
Oh,
see it.
wow.
Yeah.
Super blowout. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Look, this very well could happen. I wouldn't say to bet Jacksonville. I would just be cautious about loving the Rams. The Rams got to get right sometime. A
Right.
home game against Jacksonville is a perfect time to do it. But, man, Stafford looks messed up to me. I mean, it just doesn't look right. Like something since they got OBJ, I'm not saying the guy is bringing that, but it just there's something not right with the
Not fitting
offense.
in.
Yeah, so I don't know if they're forcing it. And Woods getting hurt, having that slot guy getting those yards, not having it is really important now. You can see it's hurting the offense.
We're talking to the Sportsbook Consigliere Dave Sharapan. You can follow him on Twitter at SportsBKConsig. Of course, listen to the podcast, Cash Considerations. He's all over the place. What else you got for him, Mike?
Well, let's go down to Florida. Let's go Tampa. I like Tampa.
I'm surprised you're not looking at that Baltimore-Pittsburgh game.
No, that's another game I would just want to watch. Sit back and watch.
Yeah, that's the Baltimore-Pittsburgh game is a hard game to bet because a road team favored they can't score, but Pittsburgh, who looks dismal, but we're going to know if TJ Watt's going to play. TJ Watt plays, I think you got to take the Steelers plus the points. Anything more than a field goal, take the Steelers there. Tampa's going to kill the Falcons.
Good.
I mean, Tampa is going to annihilate the Falcons. Tampa on the road, they can't win. You'll hear it. You heard it all week.
Agree.
Listening to the show.
We agree here.
It's blah, 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 blah. I say it on the show. I'll use the word squadoosh. Nobody knows squadoosh. Everybody thinks they know. They're going to bet against Tampa. If you want to come bet Atlanta, come to my book and bet Atlanta, please. I think Tampa, I don't know if they're going to shut them out, but how many points is Atlanta going to score in that game? Okay, the total's 50. You said 41-10 for the Rams? 41-10 Tampa. I mean, they got it. They're going to score enough in a dome.
We're going to have fun. Tampa will have fun.
Did Washington beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
They did.
Yeah,
they
did.
But that was
Billy, it's a week-to-week league.
Yeah.
It happens. Washington's
I
not
think
bad,
Washington's a better
boys.
team than Atlanta is.
Thank you.
Chase Young.
Billy,
They're
you
still
should
playing better.
Defense.
They lost Chase Young. The defense is playing better.
Billy, you should listen to Josh more. I can already see that. You should probably just listen a little bit more to Josh.
And of course, you like the Eagles today or tomorrow? You like the Eagles, right?
Billy, I want to like this Eagles team so bad. I don't think you understand.
Oh,
They got me last
You got
week.
green on.
They got me last week. I came on and said the Eagles were going to beat the Giants. All the steam was on them again.
Everybody did.
I fell for it. You can't see me, but I went like this. Big hump.
We can see you.
Put me right in. All right. I can't do it this week. I think plus the points. This is one of those ones where in the book you're like, all right, I'm going to take the Jets. We're going to need the Jets as the book. I hope the Eagles win and don't cover. Okay. I think you see the situation. It happens maybe a dozen times during an NFL season. An old bookie told me this years ago. When a team wins on the road getting points and then comes home and is getting points as a home dog, you just blindly take them. It doesn't happen that often. It's a weird kind of thing. The Jets are in that situation this week. You take the Jets plus the points. I hope the Eagles win by 4, 24-20, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Okay, that's anybody's game.
Yeah.
Put the sports book down for 24-20.
Yeah. And then
Can
we
you
can tweak
imagine
that.
if they lost?
All right.
Dave, really quick, because
Yeah.
you guys had the Bear Chris Felico on your podcast this week.
We did.
So I got to ask you, and
Yep.
because a lot of people out there ask me this question, so I want to give it to you because you're the expert here.
Yep.
You know more than I do about this stuff. Guys like the Bear love to talk about the team totals, right? A
Yep.
lot of these people talk about, oh, I don't want the spread. I want the team total.
Yep.
Explain to people what exactly that means and why there's value there for some teams.
Oh, absolutely. That's fantastic. So every night on Sports Grid and Sirius XM 159, we do this show called In Game Live, where we talk about different bets and things to bet on during the game, right? So the team total today, this is a perfect example, Michigan, Iowa. So the total in the game is 43.5. Iowa's total points, wow, it's down to 14.5, boys. Holy crap. So you can bet, I thought it was 16.5 when somebody played the under. I still like it under 14.5. You can bet a specific team under or over their points. So if you're not sure what's going to happen in the game overall, 43.5, whether it's going to go over or under that number, you can get more specific and pick an over-under number of points for a specific team. So like Iowa, 14.5. If you think they're going to score more than that, you can bet them over. Whether they win or lose doesn't matter. Whether they get blown out, it doesn't matter. You're just picking one team and their score. You want to talk about team totals that you like. I really like Iowa under. They get 2 field goals and a touchdown, or 2 touchdowns today. 14 or 13 is their score. That's what I would make the number. Max. I don't think they can get more than that unless they get a gift. Block, punt, something like that, or a turnover right in the red zone that they turn into 3 points or a touchdown. So, yeah, you can specify team totals. It's a great way to bet, and like you guys have it in your markets there. It's everywhere now. It never used to be that way. So another good way to kind of attack something. If you're unsure about the overall total, go after the team total or go after the Pitt total today. Like Pitt's playing Wake in a game that's 74. Total 74. 74. Well, you saw that game last night, the Roadrunners. They scored 90, 49-41. This is the way these bowl games go. You can pick Pitt over. Pitt's going to score nonstop today. Wake can't stop a nosebleed. They cannot. They can't stop a nosebleed at all.
All right, Dave Sharapan, the Sportsbook Consigliere. We love this segment. We love seeing what you're wearing. And Dave, listen, man, have a good one. Good luck this weekend. And get ready for us next Saturday.
Absolutely. I'm ready every Saturday, Billy. I told you I'm up doing push-ups and walking, drinking coffee at half hour to 45 minutes before just to see you guys.
All right, there he is, the Sportsbook Consigliere, Dave Sharapan. You follow him on Twitter at SportsBKConsig. We'll see you next week, Dave.
See you guys.
All right, there he is, man. Dave, I tell you what, he's colorful. He's great gear.
But did you hear his score? I mean, he thinks it's going to be a close game.
Yeah,
this should not be a close game.
No.
24-20, that's anybody's game.
Listen, boys, it's like Dominic Toretto said. Doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning's winning, okay?
All right, the first hour in the locker room was powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers, sellers, real estate agents, brokers, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. From the shore to Center City and every place in between, Surety Title is there for you with 15 office locations in New Jersey and PA. That's Surety Title. For more information, call my good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900. Just about everybody in our area has heard about the Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine that is run by ex-Philadelphia tight end Ken Dunnick. But were you aware of their private business network they call the Legacy Club? Every month they hold private events at upscale locations in Philadelphia and South Jersey to attract over 200 top business people. If you have an interest in attending one of these events and see it's a fit for your business, send an email to ken@jerseymanmagazine.com or give them a call at 856-912-4007 for more information. All right, when we return, we'll wrap up the first hour. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN.
Tonight on Compass Media Network's coverage of NCAA football, we're proudly bringing you the 2021 Big Ten Championship game, featuring the West Division champs, the Iowa Hawkeyes, and the East champs, the Michigan Wolverines. Hi, it's Greg Daniels. Join Tiki Barber and me for all the action as one of these Big Ten powerhouses will claim their conference crown. It's Iowa and Michigan for the Big Ten Championship. It's right here.
It's College Football Saturday on 97.3 ESPN. Coverage begins at 8 p.m.
With COVID-19 variants plaguing the nation, we are lucky to have our very own local company, Bioblasting, to provide the community with organic cleaning and disinfecting products. Bioblasting manufactures disinfectant products approved for use against the virus that causes COVID-19 right in Egg Harbor Township, New Jersey. They also offer organic COVID-19 disinfecting services. Their people, pet, and planet-friendly line of products includes disinfectants, sanitizers, hand cleansers, heavy-duty cleaners, and degreasers. Bioblasting wants to replace the use of all toxic chemicals in your home, business, school, municipality, restaurant, and more. The point of disinfecting against the virus is to protect your health, so why use harmful chemicals in the process? Bioblasting offers store pickup, delivery, and shipping to make sure everyone has the disinfecting products they need to keep their families safe. Right now, receive 25% off your purchase online at bioblasting.com or call them at 609-407-1111. Get bioblasted today.
Hi, this is Louis Capelli Jr., Commissioner Director of Camden County, New Jersey, reminding everyone to get your vaccine shot and booster to help protect yourself, your family, and neighbors. The Commissioners recently opened the Camden County COVID-19 Health Hub at the Blackwood campus of Camden County College. This site allows you to get your vaccination and your booster and to vaccinate your whole family. Children over the age of 5 will enjoy our kid-friendly setting to make it comfortable and non-threatening. For updated information on COVID-19 and vaccination efforts, visit CamdenCounty.com. We're all in this together. Let's play our part to stay safe and healthy this winter.
PropSwap is America's marketplace to buy and sell sports bets. Check out the new PropSwap.com, which is filled with fresh features like filtering tickets based on value, browse the activity feed to stay in the know, a loyalty rewards program that turns sales into extra cash, and much more. Use promo code ODDS on your first deposit, and PropSwap will match your first deposit up to $500. PropSwap, where America buys and sells sports bets.
All right, we're back here in the locker room. Billy Schweim, Mike Carlin, Josh Henning pushing the buttons. Very entertaining, that Sportsbook Consigliere, Dave. Mike, he's all over you.
He has every right to be, but this week we were together. He liked Tampa. I liked Tampa. So that was good.
I just like the fact that he said the Billy needs to listen to me more.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, that was.
He's
that was
wrong about that. Hey, listen, we're going to be talking with Brad Quast on the other side. And he thinks Michigan's going to roll his Hawkeyes, Josh.
Brad's not going to like that at all. I mean, Brad might hang up on you if you tell him that.
That's what I said. He may be driving off the road if he was driving.
And then, Mike, you landed a big get, man. Pat Williams. We're going to talk to Pat Williams at the bottom of the second hour.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
You know what? You said that he's got some great stories, but he's been in the business for such a long time, and he obviously knows what he's talking about. I want to ask him about it. What he thinks about what's going on in the NBA today with the players.
Yeah, and he's one of those guys. He doesn't hold back.
Is that right?
You ask him a question, he's going to answer.
So we could make some national news,
and we could maybe.
You know, I'm waiting for that day where we get somebody on this show, Josh, and they say something outlandish, and they're going to go,
"This could be
this guy was on the locker room with Billy Schweim, and he said this."
This could be it. just we got to tell him. We got to ask him to tell the quick story of exactly how the Sixers got Dr. J, because the majority of people do not know it.
Oh man. Well, at least the Consigliere, he likes the Eagles 24, 20.
Close.
The Jets are going to cover, but the Eagles win the game. Yeah. I'll take that.
I'll take a win.
All right. Yeah, we got to have a win.
You got to win.
You have to win this game.
120.
Why are we coming up, Bill?
Imagine if we lost this game.
You just stop it right there. All right. Hour 1 is in the books. Hour 2, we're going to talk with former Iowa State Hawkeye, 3-time Big Ten selection linebacker, Brad Quast, check in. Then we're going to talk with former Sixers general manager, Pat Williams. Of course, he was the senior vice president of operations down there for the Magic. All that and more on the other side. It's the locker room with Billy Schweim, Mike Carlin, Josh Henning pushing the buttons. 97.3 ESPN. It's the locker room every Saturday and Sunday from 10 a.m. to noon. Stick with us. We'll be right back. Finding an electrician that is dependable, prompt, and experienced is important. Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Service is just that. Service in Atlantic and Cape May counties for 40 years, Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services specializes in both commercial and residential work and provides 24-hour emergency services. No job too big and no job too small. Call Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services. They do it all. Call for a free estimate, 609-399-1999.
Call Tom Jackson and Sons for electrical, they're number one.
All right, we're back here in the locker room with Billy Schweim, Mike Carlin, 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app. Big day in college football. We've got the Baylor-Oklahoma State game right here on 97.3 ESPN, followed by Alabama, Georgia, and then, of course, Michigan and Iowa. And you just heard the Sportsbook Consigliere's pick. He thinks Iowa's going to get blown out, but we're going to blowout. But we got on the line somebody that I'm sure is going to disagree with that. This guy, Mike, is a 3-time Big Ten selection linebacker. He played at Iowa.
Right. Big time.
Big time.
I mean, it's big time. It's like,
let's go to the Maserati, the main line sports hotline, and welcome into the locker room, Brad Quast. What's up, Q?
Billy, they ain't blowing the Hawkeyes out today. They're not doing it.
Good. That's what we want to hear.
They're not doing it. Hey, take the points. Take the points.
That's what I said. Take the points.
Hey,
take the points.
Brad, I'm sure like with the Sportsbook Consigliere, he said, he goes, yeah, they were I was probably shocked that they're even playing one more game.
And excited.
Iowa sneaks up on you. I mean, they play in the West Conference of the Big Ten, which is thank goodness for that. But Kurt Ferentz does a great job. They run the ball and play good defense. Don't make mistakes. That's how you win games.
Yeah, we see, last week with the Eagles making all those turnovers. You can't win a game. I mean, you can, but the odds are not in your favor. You can't turn the ball over and make critical mistakes and blow drives, throwing interceptions on the goal line. You just can't do it.
You can't do it. The game's too short, and especially when you're a little undermanned talent-wise, you just got to grind the clock out and make plays. And like I said, the best defense is keeping the offense off the field. So, and I think that's what I was really good at doing.
Now, Brad, you played big-time college football. You played for Iowa. When the players see that there's a lopsided number, like your big-time underdogs, does that galvanize? I mean, we talked about the professional players. Obviously, they don't need any extra motivation, and you talked about how college kids obviously are a lot different because they had their homework to deal with, girls, issues, all kind of stuff. But when college football players see that you're going up against a team like Michigan and you're big-time underdogs, what's that do for is that extra motivation?
I think that in this day we live in, and that how people are so conscious of point spreads and underdogs and stuff like that, they're definitely aware of that. And some coaches will bring it up. I remember Hayden Fry would say, "Guys, we're a 10-point underdog. This is disrespectful." With his Southern, So it all depends what coaches and how they're going to motivate these 18, 19, 20-year-old kids to get up and play. I mean, and they'll use that to their advantage. We're not supposed to win this game. We're not. They're picking us to lose by 3 touchdowns, and that's brought up in a speech during the week.
Yeah, and I think this is Mike. I think it comes down to exactly what you said about the coaching staff, and it comes from the head coach. With his speaking to the team, it's very easy to say, "Hey guys, we're here for a reason. You just don't walk to the championship game. We're here because we belong. Let's forget about the point spread. Let's forget about all that." And let me ask a question to this team: how many? When you go to Iowa, to me, that's big time. But I guarantee there's guys on Iowa that weren't recruited by Michigan. And sometimes, you use that you say, "Hey, raise your hand. Raise your hand if Michigan recruited anybody in this locker room." And then you look around, you say, "They didn't think you were good enough. Let's go show them what we are."
No one's giving you the respect, and it's that kind of bunker mentality that you're going to say it's us against them. The whole nation thinks we're going to be losing by 2 touchdowns. They didn't recruit you. I know, talking to friends like, I know some of the other schools back in the late 80s, hey, when we played Iowa State. And you didn't get a sniff from the University of Iowa, and now let's go kick their butt. That's what they would try to use that. I have the friends that played for the Cyclones, so that's exactly how they try to motivate these young student athletes and to get them out and to play. And I think that's what Kurt's going to do. He's going to make it's a business trip. They're going to be all business. Yep. A bunch of my buddies are in Indianapolis right now for the game, and they're going to say, we're not supposed to win this game, but we're going to show them. The blue bloods of the Big Ten is Michigan. So they're going to try to go out there and play good ball and hit them in the face. That's what they're going to do. Run the ball and play good defense.
I know the one thing about Iowa, I'm a huge, Big Ten is my life. And I'm a big Penn State fan being from this area. It didn't matter what Penn State's schedule was. but they always circled Iowa for the reason is we got to get by Iowa because they could be 6-0. It always we'd be 6-0, they'd be 3-3, and all of a sudden we'd lose to Iowa, and the whole season was down. I mean, year after year.
Come out to Happy Valley and beat them.
Yeah, it always was. If you were a true Penn State fan, you weren't. I mean, you were worried about the Ohio States on it, but it was like that Iowa game. We got to play Iowa again. We got to play Iowa again. Yeah, because something always bad happened.
If you look at Iowa, there's never the at least in the last 20 years, there's never that guy that's gonna woo you and go, holy cow, boy, that guy's an athlete. They just play good football. They got great tight ends. They got the best line in the country every year in and year out, and they just win when they need to. And they win in October, November.
I think people forget that. Remember the first couple of weeks of the year, they were ranked in the top 5. There's a reason why they were ranked in the top 5. This is a really, really good team. Now they may lose to Michigan, but this is going to be a close game in my book.
I hope so. I'm going to watch it intently, and then that Alabama-Georgia game is going to be interesting. So, and then
I was just going to ask you about that. The Alabama-Georgia, the SEC game, for me, and I think this game is going to be a lot closer than the Sportsbook Consigliere does. But I just, for some reason, Georgia just can't get by Alabama.
Listen, Billy. I mean,
Bobby.
Bobby, Billy.
Billy Bob.
Come on. No, I guarantee. I think Alabama beats them. I think they beat them.
Yeah, I would shock me, Mike. Would it shock you?
No,
would shock me.
I have my rundown of who I think's going to win and who. And
by the way, I don't know how both you guys feel. I'm tired of Alabama. I'm tired of Nick Saban. You know what
it's
I mean?
how I feel like back in the day when Duke was winning basketball year after year.
Hold on.
I got tired of Duke.
I love dominance in college sports. It's so hard to do, and that's why I give him so much respect. He recruits.
I respect him, you guys, but I'm tired of it, Brad.
Well, what do you want? Who do you want winning? You want Boise State? like the Boise State come in, or Cincinnati?
BYU, right? Cincinnati,
Brad.
They don't belong.
It ain't college football if you don't have Ohio State, Michigan, Alabama,
Georgia, LSU,
Clemson, Georgia, LSU. That's why Kelly's going to a great spot. He's going to in 2 years that program will be winning the West.
Really quick,
the SEC West.
Brad, Billy has his hate thing. He's hating everybody today. So I need
no,
to know.
Not everybody. Just Brad, just Singleton and Saban.
That's why I want to know. Who do you hate more, Nick Saban, Alex Singleton, or Roy Williams?
Man,
that's tough. So Brad, I always look at like Dean Smith from North Carolina. Looked like no nonsense. That he wants great students, great people, great character guys. Yep. Roy Williams looked like he would sell his soul to win. Get the worst person available just because he's a great player. He comes across to me as a new used car salesman that trying to shiest people.
Well, you're not alone there. You're not alone.
I don't know what it is, but Nick Saban started to get that with me. I'm starting to get that feel from him. Like that.
Well, because he's doing too many commercials. I think you're seeing him in the commercials and that. But Nick's a good man. He's a good man. He demands perfection.
Don't wreck it for me. Don't wreck it for me, will you, Brad?
Yeah, and plus, if you want to resurrect your coaching career,
that's what I was going to say. Look at the people he puts around him.
A couple years, and you learn he's a loyal guy. Once you're in that fraternity, he brings you in. You'll be a quality control guy and resurrect your career, and then off to coaching somewhere else. But he's a good man.
Brad, real quick, you're going to the Jets Eagles games tomorrow. We're going to talk. We're going to hear from you from the parking lot. You're going to give us the flavor.
I'm taking the boys, and I'm taking the boys, and I think there might be fights because all the boys are wearing their
they're going to be all eagled up.
Eagle jersey. They're all eagled up. They're all eagled up, and I'm going as a Jet, and we're the green room. The New York Jets have a real nice green room for ex-players, and so they're going to be all eagled up and sitting in a Jets function.
All right, well, listen, we'll talk to you tomorrow. We're going to talk to you tomorrow at 11:30.
Okay, looking forward to it, guys.
All right, there he is, Brad Quast, 3-time Big Ten selection linebacker. The man can hit. All right, Brad, we'll talk to you tomorrow. There he is on the Maserati, the Mainline Sports Hotline. Want to remind people the second hour of the locker room is brought to you by the Great Bay Country Club, where it's not just golf, it's fun. Make Great Bay Country Club your club. Great Bay is an award-winning private golf club where you are greeted by name. It's home of the 3-hour and 58-minute round. You can play on the 18-hole championship golf course, enjoy fine dining, experience lively atmosphere in the pub. There is a full calendar of golf and social events throughout the season that appeal to anyone, everyone. For more information on how to become a member, go to greatbay.com or give them a call at 609-927-5071. Great Bay Country Club in Somers Point, New Jersey. See why it's always a great day at Great Bay. When you get down there, say hello to Radio Ron Ralston, because Radio Ron is the man down there. Hey, My Winter Watchdog, have you heard about New Jersey's premier vacant home management service, My Winter Watchdog? You know those worrisome thoughts that creep into your mind every time you hear of a storm coming and the daunting task of driving down to the shore to check on the house. Hours of time on the road. Let My Winter Watchdog be your eyes and ears with their 15-point inspection checklist. They offer a full menu of maintenance and improvement services. Owner Debbie McGonigal and her team of property caretakers are professional, licensed, bonded, and insured. So don't let the winter worry you. They'll give your house that lived-in look. That's My Winter Watchdog. Go to mywinterwatchdog.com or give them a call at 267-202-1869. That's 267-202-1869. Or send Debbie an email, debbie@mywinterwatchdog.com. All right, when we return, we'll continue with more here in the locker room with Billy Schweim, Mike Carlin, 97.3 ESPN.
Tonight on Compass Media Network's coverage of NCAA football, we're proudly bringing you the 2021 Big Ten Championship game, featuring the West Division champs, the Iowa Hawkeyes, and the East champs, the Michigan Wolverines. Hi, it's Greg Daniels. Join Tiki Barber and me for all the action as one of these Big Ten powerhouses will claim their conference crown. It's Iowa and Michigan for the Big Ten Championship. It's right here.
It's College Football Saturday on 97.3 ESPN. Coverage begins at 8 p.m.
Ocean City's real estate market is red hot, and you need an agent that has the knowledge and expertise to help. Contact Ocean City's top agent, Mark Grimes. Mark has been selling real estate for 30 years in South Jersey. He can answer all your real estate questions and find you the perfect property. He's available anytime on his cell at 609-425-2042. When Philadelphia star athletes are looking for a house at the beach, they contact Mark Grimes, specializing in buying and selling vacation homes, single-family homes, condominiums, and duplexes, residential and commercial, as well as new construction projects or investment opportunities. Mark Grimes, he's your agent at the beach. Give him a call right now, 609-425-2042, or check out his website at grimes.com. Finding an electrician that is dependable, prompt, and experienced is important. Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Service is just that. Service in Atlantic and Cape May counties for 40 years, Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services specializes in both commercial and residential work and provides 24-hour emergency services. No job too big and no job too small. Call Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services. They do it all. Call for a free estimate, 609-399-1999.
Call Tom Jackson and Sons for electrical, they're number one.
Back here in the locker room, Billy Schweim, Mike Carlin. Mike, we were just talking between the break. Like Michigan can sneak it. If Alabama loses today, they're out.
They're out,
right?
Yeah, unless it's.
And then if Baylor wins,
if Alabama is winning most of this game,
I want Alabama out.
If Alabama is winning most of this game and Georgia like somehow kicks a field goal at the end, then you know what's going to happen.
But the committee has never put a 2-loss team in.
That's right.
Well, they may over a team like Cincinnati.
And Cincinnati
They're undefeated.
Yeah, but you know what? But Josh, they only had one win over a big team.
Remember, what's the biggest things they look at? The committee said they look at conference championships.
See, I don't believe in that because the committee lies to us every year. They have been inconsistent for 6 years about what matters. 1 year they tell us that a win is more valuable than a loss. Then another year they say, well, this loss is more valuable than this win. And then this year, the committee got up there and said that they will hold it against Notre Dame that Brian Kelly is no longer their coach. What?
Yeah, that was wrong.
Like this committee is a bunch of bumbling fools. At the end of the day, the only thing they've been consistent about is not putting a 2-loss team in. Otherwise, it's
well. So I listen. At the end of the day, I want Alabama to lose. I want them out. I'd like to see a team like Baylor come in and shake things up.
The winner of that
bit.
game is if Alabama loses, the winner of the Baylor Oklahoma State is going to be number 4 in my book.
How do you feel about Cincinnati though? I mean,
I don't feel good at all. We could talk for a whole half an hour about it.
They go undefeated.
Listen, their schedule is not. It's not
Read
one of
some
the
of the teams that they played off.
Do you imagine if you were? I mean, I know I'm a Penn State fan, but you imagine being a Penn State or Penn State. Somebody's putting in the top 10 to say 8 or 9 to say, my God, we played in the SEC. We played Georgia, Alabama, LSU. They can name and they say, wait a minute, Cincinnati played Murray State, Miami of Ohio, Temple, Navy, Tulane,
right,
Tulsa. It'd be like, are you telling me if you put them?
Yeah,
on
but
the
like
field
Josh
they
said,
wouldn't
you
beat
can't.
them?
But here's what Josh makes a good point. Obviously, and they're going on. They're undefeated. I mean, you
Playing
can't help
nobody. They're
I
undefeated.
get
Playing
it, but
nobody.
But guess what? A few years ago, UCF played nobody, and they went to the Peach Bowl and they bashed Auburn's face into the ground.
Yeah.
And remember, 2 years ago, Cincinnati lost by a field goal to Georgia. So, it's.
I think when you get to that level, though, I think those games.
Listen,
you
Georgia
think
to
Auburn
me
went
is
to
the
really,
best
but
team in
they
the
didn't want to
country.
be in that bowl.
Georgia to me is the best team in the country.
Yeah.
They're beating everybody.
Well, they got to prove it to me today.
Okay.
If they're the best team, Josh, they have to win today.
But here's the thing. You go through Oklahoma State's schedule. They're in a major conference. They don't have a lot of great wins. I know Oklahoma looks good to the people who don't follow college football that closely.
Mhm.
Oklahoma's at an up and down year, right?
Correct.
They had to play Kansas this year, Texas this year, Texas Tech. These teams. What's the difference between them and, let's say, Navy at this point? Not much.
All right, I don't want to I want to go off a little bit to the coaching. What do you make of the move, Kelly? That Kelly just gets up and leaves Notre Dame. I mean, was that a shock?
I
to
don't
you?
think. No,
It wasn't a shock.
It wasn't a
It
shock.
was a shock to me.
No, it wasn't a shock to me. I think you could
Kelly,
you
Irish,
You
Greek,
heard
you know
the
what I mean?
rumbling, right? But he broke his record of being at Notre Dame, getting all the wins.
He hasn't won. He has never won a championship.
But that's the reason why he left.
Yes.
Right. That's the reason. It's exactly
It's
why.
Notre Dame, Mike.
You can't win a national
Not gonna
championship with Notre Dame
win.
anymore.
Again, it's about conference championships. That's what
Notre
it's really
Dame being
big.
an independent
They go
is always
undefeated.
going to
They're
be held
in.
against them.
If they go, and you look at the teams that Notre Dame plays.
A great schedule.
Great schedule. Probably one of the hardest in the country.
Now, people will say, well, you can't put them above Cincinnati. Cincinnati beat them. Cincinnati, in my book, they caught them on a great day. That's
I
how
don't
I
think
look
the
at
conference has anything to do with it. If they go undefeated with the schedule that they play, they're right there. Kelly just hasn't got it done. Right?
Kelly,
I think it's fair.
Listen,
I mean,
when you're 11-1, 10-2, I call that getting it. Not everybody can win the championship, though, year in year, but they're always right there. I mean, they're right on the edge all the time. When was the last time they had a 6-5 record or a 7? They don't have them.
To me, Kelly went to LSU because he wants to win a championship and he wants to work less at recruiting.
Yeah. Well,
he wants an easier
You know what
job
Josh
and
means
get
by
paid
that?
more
You know what
money.
Josh means by that? Do you know how hard it is to get into Indiana? How to get in Notre Dame?
Notre Dame, yeah.
It's like getting into
Academically,
Stanford.
yeah.
It's like getting into Duke. You got to not just be a football player.
right,
It's like
student.
Vanderbilt.
Right.
You got to be an unbelievable student. At LSU, you play football.
Right,
come on,
right,
come on.
right,
We'll take you.
right.
That's how it's going to be.
And by the way, that's part of the on the flip side, part of the reason why Lincoln Riley went to USC. Because Lincoln Riley recruit so many guys from California already.
Yeah.
It's easier to convince a kid to stay in state
Right.
than travel all the way to Oklahoma. Remember, there were 4 kids that all decommitted from Oklahoma who are all following him
Yeah.
over to
California.
USC.
And most of them live in California. You're
Yeah.
right. Like the one
The
quarterback.
one kid lives like 30 minutes from the
It's
school.
right there.
All right, we're going to change gears because, Mike, you got a great get, and I can't wait to speak with our next guest. We're going to be talking with former Sixers general manager Pat Williams.
Pat Williams.
And he's got several books out.
Several.
Right?
I
like
think
50.
close to 50 or more.
50 more
Yeah,
books.
I mean, imagine that.
Well, you're
50
laughing at that,
books.
Josh. I saw several.
50
I mean,
books.
I don't know exactly the number, but
And
it's a
then
lot.
The character part of this guy. I mean, we use the word gentleman a lot.
Right.
Like he's a gentleman.
Right.
We almost loosely. When you talk to this guy, you'll feel for it on the phone, but when you really see him
Right.
face to face and talk to him, you spend 5 minutes with him, he's a true gentleman.
So I'm really looking forward to it. So let's skedaddle here and do some business so we give Pat some time. And remember, the locker room at Blitz's Market want to discount your Eagles game day meal during the Eagles season. On game day, get an Italian hoagie for just $5 when you mention the locker room. Get down to Blitz's all season long at 21st and Asbury in Ocean City. Blitz's now has online ordering at blitzesmarkets.com or give them a call at 609-399-9983. Blitz's is home of the Dill Pickle Hoagie. It's really a big deal. Second hour in the locker room is brought to you by the Great Bay Country Club, where it's not just golf, it's fun. Make Great Bay Country Club your club. Great Bay is an award-winning private golf club, but you are greeted by name. It's home of the 3-hour and 58-minute round. For more information on how to become a member, go to greatbay.com or give them a call at 609-927-5071. Great Bay Country Club at Summers Point, New Jersey. See why it's always, always a great day at Great Bay. Friends, let me tell you about Maserati, the main line, located just minutes from downtown Philadelphia. They offer a client-focused car buying experience designed to exceed all expectations and invite you to stop and see the area's largest selection of new Maseratis, including the sporty Ghibli mid-size sedan or the class-leading Levante, the only SUV worthy being called a Maserati. Maserati, the mainline, also leads the nation in certified pre-owned sales and has the highest quality like new Maseratis available on the market. Your experience does not end at the point of a sale, as Maserati, the mainline, offers free pickup and delivery for scheduled service appointments and provides a new Maserati loaner car. So be audacious. Call my good friend Michael Pledgy at Maserati, the mainline, today at 484-804-4800. That's 484-804-4800, or visit them online anytime at motml.com. All right, when we return, we'll talk with Pat Williams. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim, Mike Carlin on 97.3 ESPN.
This is the radio home for Philadelphia Eagles football, with the Eagles in North Jersey against the Jets.
The Philadelphia Eagles have now beaten the Jets 11 times and lost to them never.
Pre-game coverage begins tomorrow at noon. Merrill and Mike call all the action starting at 1. This is where the Eagles play. 97.3 ESPN, South Jersey's Eagles station.
Train presents The Unstoppables. Those captains of comfort, those gargantuans of the guarantee, those satisfaction savants who persevere perilously beyond probability as the raconteurs of reliability. Here's to Train's heralded heroes of heating and air conditioning, those comfort kings with a tireless tenacity for total turnaround. The Train Comfort Specialists. Just one more reason why it's hard to stop a train.
Hi, this is Joe Lenigan, owner of Lenigan Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Call us today for your free train system quote at 609-399-1200 or online at ocnjplumber.com. And please don't forget to ask for the military and senior discount.
Calling again, again and again. Calling again, again and again.
Hi, this is Al Dyer, Commissioner of Camden County, reminding everyone to get your vaccine shot and booster to help protect yourself, your family, and your neighbors. Camden County and our many partners throughout Camden City are making it easy for you to get your first, second, or your booster shots. That's easy and convenient for you and your family. As the holidays are approaching and more indoor gatherings are being planned, it's important you take that step and protect those around you. For updated information on COVID-19 and vaccination efforts, visit CamdenCounty.com. We're all in this together. Let's all play our part to stay safe and healthy this winter. Thank you.
With COVID-19 variants plaguing the nation, we are lucky to have our very own local company, Bioblasting, to provide the community with organic cleaning and disinfecting products. Bioblasting manufactures disinfectant products approved for use against the virus that causes COVID-19 right in Egg Harbor Township, New Jersey. They also offer organic COVID-19 disinfecting services. Their people, pet, and planet-friendly line of products includes disinfectants, sanitizers, hand cleansers, heavy-duty cleaners, and degreasers. Bioblasting wants to replace the use of all toxic chemicals in your home, business, school, municipality, restaurant, and more. The point of disinfecting against the virus is to protect your health, so why use harmful chemicals in the process? Bioblasting offers store pickup, delivery, and shipping to make sure everyone has the disinfecting products they need to keep their families safe. Right now, receive 25% off your purchase online at bioblasting.com or call them at 609-407-1111. Get bioblasted today.
PropSwap is America's marketplace to buy and sell sports bets. Check out the new PropSwap.com, which is filled with fresh features like filtering tickets based on value, browse the activity feed to stay in the know, a loyalty rewards program that turns sales into extra cash, and much more. Use promo code ODDS on your first deposit, and PropSwap will match your first deposit up to $500. PropSwap, where America buys and sells sports bets.
All right, we're back here in the locker room. Billy Schweim, Mike Carlin, 97.3 ESPN. You know, Mike, over the years, we've had some really big names join the show, and we've got one right now, none bigger than him. And, of course, I remember that 83 Sixers team, and, boy, hasn't the NBA changed since then? I mean,
like night and day.
And this our next guest, Wisdom, great guy, over 50
Gentleman.
books. Gentleman.
The key word gentleman for Pat.
All right, let's go to the Maserati, the Mainline Sports Hotline, and welcome in the former general manager of the Philadelphia 76ers. He was the senior vice president of the Orlando Magic. Let's welcome into the locker room, Pat Williams. Good morning, Pat.
Billy, good morning to you and to Mike as well. It's nice to be on with you guys. How's everything going?
Good. We're doing well. We're getting ready for the holidays. Pat, I just want to say thank you, because how does it make you feel that you brought joy to so many in Philadelphia with, winning the championship in '83? Do you ever think about that?
I do. I think about it often. The climb that we had over those years, the frustrations that we had of getting to the finals and then falling short. I think about the arrival of Moses Malone and what he did. And that particular season, well, it was perfect. There were no major injuries. There were no losing streaks. It was a powerful team that just swept through the league. And then, of course, almost swept through the playoffs. It was a year that, it would be very, very hard to have a year like it. It was a memorable year. I think we thought it was going to go on for a while, but as it turned out, the 82-83 season was the peak year for everybody on that team, and we just weren't quite as sharp after that. But in the meantime, we have that 83 season to reflect on and to remember and to rejoice over.
Absolutely. Now, Pat, prior to getting you on, we were talking about Mike brought it to my attention. He said, Pat Williams, he's got great stories, but you should hear the story about how we got Julius Erving. Can you shed a little light on that for us?
Well, you remember in 1976, that summer, the two leagues merged, came together, and the NBA absorbed 4 ABA franchises, including the New York Nets, where Julius was playing in the ABA. However, when training camp started in September of '76, Julius wasn't there. He was having a contract dispute with the ownership of the Nets, and he did not report. And I stayed in touch with Billy Melchione, who was then the GM of the Nets, and asked Billy at one point if Julius was available, and he said no. He called me back in about 2 weeks, and he said, Julius is available. I said, well, what's it going to take? He said, money. Cash. He said, our owner needs money. And I said, well, what's the asking price? He said, $3 million. Now, this was 1976. That number would clear your nostrils out. I mean, that was staggering. And then I remember saying to Billy, well, what about signing Julius? He said, well, that's going to take another $3 million over 5 years. And my math, it wasn't great, but I came to the conclusion that was $6 million. So we had a new owner. He had just bought the club. His name was F. Eugene Dixon. He went by Fitz, a longtime Philadelphian. Always had wanted to own his own team. And I called him and said, I need to come up and see you. And he lived had a farm outside Philadelphia. And I took off, fast, and got up to his place and went in to see him. He said, Pat, what's up? I said, well, Julius Erving is available. And he said, tell me, Pat, who is Julius Erving?
Can you imagine that today?
Now Fitz, had not really followed basketball, but now he was into it. And I explained to him, I just said, he's the Babe Ruth of basketball. And he's available. I said, and Fitz said, well, what's it going to take to get him? I said, well, and I tried to say it quickly, $6 million. And he said to me, tell me, Pat, he said, are you recommending this deal?
Imagine the pressure on that question.
Yeah, he said, are you recommending this deal? Now, this was an owner, a new owner. I didn't really know him that well. He said, are you recommending this deal? I said, yes, sir, I am. And he said, well, then go get it done.
Isn't that great?
That's
the greatest
and
story
the
I
funny
ever
part
heard.
about that story is he didn't even know who Julius Erving was.
Yeah. When Pat told
And
me that
that's
story,
somebody that don't know who LeBron James is right now.
I mean, can you imagine that, Pat, today going to an owner and saying, hey, we got a chance to get LeBron James, and him saying, well, tell me about this LeBron James. Like, I don't even know who you mean. I mean, it's just, and the media, like he said, back then when Julius Erving was able to try to get, we have so much media that you would know that within seconds today. Back then, we didn't have the media. It was a behind the scenes, really behind the scenes thing.
Well, we gathered a battery of lawyers and headed to 30th Street Station and took off for New York. One group of us headed to deal with Julius's people. Erwin Weiner was his agent. And the other group headed the other part of New York to deal with the Nets and their people. And so those negotiations went on all night. And I remember the next morning, without any sleep, we celebrated with breakfast. Then we had to go and inform the commissioner, Larry O'Brien, what had just happened. And we explained it to him. I was a little bit nervous. Would he approve this? There'd never been a cash transaction like that before. But he did. And that night, that evening, we had a press conference in Philadelphia. It was a Thursday. And we announced it and told the media what had happened.
Oh, that's awesome.
Opening night was the next night against San Antonio, the newcomer to the league.
Yep.
And where was Julius? Well, I'll tell you where he was. He was in uniform and introduced on opening night as a member of the 76ers. Oh, it was a big night. And one of our season ticket holders, I remember Steve Sobs, ran out on the court when Julius was introduced and handed him a doctor's bag.
Nice.
Welcoming him to Philadelphia.
That's awesome.
And so for the next 10 years, it was Julius's team. We got to the finals in 77. We got to the finals in 1980. We got to the finals in 1982. And couldn't get over the hump. But then Moses delivered us. And he arrived in late summer of 1982. And that was an even bigger deal, a $13 million 5-year contract. And we lured Moses. There'd never been a contract like that. So that's how that team came together. And in the meantime, we had traded George McGinnis and that's how Bobby Jones arrived. And we drafted the two guards, Mo Cheeks on the second round in 1978. And then came Andrew Toney in 1980. And there was our guard line. We put a few pieces together. Clint Richardson was a draft pick. We made a deal for Clement Johnson. And he backed up Moses the rest of that year. And we had some depth. And that was quite a ball club. It was a special team. It will always have a favorite spot in the hearts of Philadelphia fans.
We're talking with former Sixers general manager and former Orlando Magic vice president Pat Williams joins us here on the Maserati, the Mainline Sports Hotline. Pat, today's NBA is so much different from when you were, an executive in the league, and talent evaluation seems to be so much more difficult. With what's going on here in Philadelphia with the Sixers now, what do you make of it? I'd like to hear your opinion on what you think about how the league, how the players seem to be running the league.
Well, the players do have a certain amount of power and strength. There's no question about that. How is the league different? Well, first of all, the arrival of players from all over the world.
International.
Over 100 players from other countries are on NBA rosters this year. Think about that for a minute. And the game continues to expand internationally. That's not going to slow down. The basketball is played everywhere, and players are going to continue to come from around the world. Little things, well, they're big things. They just travel. These players today have never been in an airport. They've never been on a commercial flight during the season. It's all a private airport airline transportation. The athletes are bigger and stronger than ever. They're attended to by strength coaches and nutrition coaches and stretching coaches, and on it goes. I mean, the staffs are endless. Back in our day, we had Al Domenico. He was the trainer, and that was it. That was it, But today, the traveling party is enormous, with all the specialists that every team has. And I think the big thing is the value of franchises. The Clippers a few years ago went for $2 billion. And then Houston was sold after that for over $2 billion. Think about that. The Sixers on the open market probably would bring $2 billion. It's fascinating to me the value of these franchises.
Pat,
and then the other thing are the arenas, are the facilities. Everybody seemingly has a new arena, and they're bigger and brassier than ever before, and they have more bells and whistles than you can imagine. So the NBA's become a big deal. I think that's the bottom line.
Pat, it's Michael. Just in this interview and when we had lunch a couple of years back, the one thing I always got from you when you were talking about the team, it was always just that, the team. It wasn't one player, wasn't we just brought this guy. It seemed like everybody always came in and had a job to do, and they all worked together. Like you were just naming the team, and it wasn't just Dr. J and Moses. You were naming the guys that were coming off the bench. They all had roles to play, and they seemed to all just mesh. And I always thought a lot about that. And I always thought the one thing you put in my mind that I've passed on to my children. I have two boys. I have Cole Reed and a daughter, Sky. And it was that you always told me that surround yourself with good people, that who is standing next to you and who your friendships are, it's a reflection of who you are. And I've drilled that into my kids. And so far we've been very happy with how everything is fell together. And I want to thank you for putting that in my head. And one last story, the Dr. J thing is my idol. And I can remember 12 years old, my brother Donnie running into my bedroom, waking me up saying, we just got Dr. J. And I was like half asleep. I was like, what are you talking about? He goes, I'm not kidding. We have Dr. J. He's going to be a Sixer. And to this day, I'm 58 years old. It's like it happened 10 minutes ago. I remember so, and then he was like, all right, I'll see you after school. And he ran out. But I mean, it was, you did all that, Pat.
Well, the memories of our youth are so real and so significant that those are the most vivid memories we have. I'll tell you a very quick story. When I grew up in Wilmington, Delaware, and became a sports fan at a young age. And we came up to Schweim Park every weekend, it seemed. My mother drove me up there. I was a baseball nut. This would be the Phillies of the late 40s and on into the 50s. But I loved the Philadelphia A's. Loved the A's, just loved them. And they had a player, a little pitcher named Bobby Shantz, who in 1952 was the MVP. A little guy, 5'6", 139 pounds. And yet he was dazzling. Well, long story short, he's still living. He lives in Ambler, Pennsylvania. Wow. He's 96. And I saw an article about him in the paper a while back, and I clipped it and sent it to Bobby Shantz's home in Ambler, not thinking anything would happen. Well, I got the mail yesterday, and there was a Christmas card back from Bobby Shantz.
How about that?
Yeah.
He and his wife signed it, and thanked me for the clipping, and I thought, my heart just rejoiced. Bobby Shantz, my boyhood hero, sent me a Christmas card.
That's awesome. We're talking with former Sixers general manager, former Orlando Magic vice president, Pat Williams. And I remember that 1980 year in living in this area. All four of our teams, the Flyers, Sixers, Eagles, and Phillies, all went to the respective championships, and that was a special time. I don't know if we'll ever see that again, Pat.
No, I don't think we ever will. Now, think about that for a minute. We had the starting in the mid 70s into the 80s. The Flyers won 2 Stanley Cups. The Eagles got to the Super Bowl. The Phillies won their first World Series in 1980. The 76ers win the championship in 83. Penn goes to the Final Four.
I forgot. I always forget about that. Yeah. God.
In 79. And Villanova wins the NCAA tournament in the 80s. Think about that for a minute.
Right?
Think about that decade. I don't think we'll ever see that again in a city. So people who grew up in that era and that decade have some wonderful, wonderful memories from their youth about what happened with all the sports teams in Philadelphia. It was a magnificent time, marvelous time.
Pat, I was telling the boys, Josh and Billy, when I came in I was guessing that I think you've written, is it 50 or over 50 books? How close am I?
And
I know you have a new one. If you want to talk about the new one.
Yeah, it's 120 books. It's somehow
way off.
written.
Sorry about that.
And, I don't know what happened, but I went absolutely berserk. My most recent book is just out. It's called Revolutionary Leadership, and I'm fascinated by leadership. So in this case, we went back to the Revolutionary War period, and we studied the leaders of that period and what they did in bringing our country about. We had no business winning that war.
Right.
Great Britain had better everything, equipment, weapons, everything. They had a navy. We didn't have a navy. And but yet somehow over that 8-year period, the little colonies hung in there and got it done and won that war. A war they had no business winning. The one thing that we had better than Great Britain was leadership. And so we look at 25 different leaders, men and women, some very famous, some not so famous. And what did they do? Well, what did they contribute as far as leaders that allowed us to win the war and become a country? So I think people will enjoy it. It's easy. It's an easy read. And you can just go up to Amazon and order it, or go to Barnes and Noble. Revolutionary Leadership. Pat Williams is the author, and the publisher is Revell, Revell. So I'm hopeful that teachers and students will get a hold of it.
Yeah. I teach, Pat, so I'm gonna go out and get it. Pat, listen, I really wish we had some more time. We're up against it. I want to thank you so much for coming. You brought us some great memories that'll last forever, and I want to thank you so much for taking time. Happy holidays to you and yours, and maybe we'll be able to do it again.
Thank you, Pat. Really appreciate it.
Call anytime, guys. Good to visit with you.
Take care.
There he is.
Merry Christmas, buddy.
Very good. Pat Williams, former Sixers general manager, Orlando Magic vice president. Pat Williams on the Maserati of the Mainline Sports Hotline. I'm going to go out and get that book.
19 children.
That's amazing. That's amazing. All right, the second hour of the Locker Room is brought to you by the Great Bay Country Club, where it's not just golf, it's fun. Make Great Bay Country Club your country club. Great Bay is an award-winning private golf club where you are greeted by name. It's home of the 3-hour, 58-minute round. You can play on their 18-hole championship golf course, enjoy fine dining experience, lively atmosphere in the pub. There's a full calendar of golf and social events throughout the season to appeal to everyone. For more information, go to greatbay.com or give them a call at 609-927-5071. Great Bay Country Club in Summers Point, New Jersey. See why it's always a great day at Great Bay. Just about everybody in our area has heard about the Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine, run by ex-Philadelphia tight end Ken Dunnick. Are you aware of their private business network they call the Legacy Club? Every month, they hold private events at upscale locations in Philadelphia, South Jersey that attract over 200 top business people. If you have an interest in attending one of these events and see it's fit for your business, send an email to ken@jerseymanmagazine.com or give them a call at 856-912-4007 for more information. Mike, I just wish we could have more time with him.
You can go on and on.
He could just, I'm sure we could just pick his brain over just a million things.
I mean, we didn't even talk about, he was the co-founder of the Orlando Magic.
Right.
How his dream was to start this and do it. I mean, it's just
leadership and surround yourself with great people.
Great people.
All right, when we return, we'll wrap it up. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim, Mike Carlin, right here on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app.
Today on ESPN Radio, it's the Big 12 championship game. 9th-ranked Baylor goes head-to-head with 5th-ranked Oklahoma State at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Oklahoma State sits just outside of the playoff. Can a win in a Big 12 title game get them in? 9th-ranked Baylor, 5th-ranked Oklahoma State. It's College Football Saturday on 97.3 ESPN. Coverage begins at noon.
Finding an electrician that is dependable, prompt, and experienced is important. Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Service is just that. Service in Atlantic and Cape May counties for 40 years, Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services specializes in both commercial and residential work and provides 24-hour emergency services. No job too big and no job too small. Call Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services. They do it all. Call for a free estimate, 609-3 399-1999.
Call Tom Jackson and Sons for electrical, they're number one.
Randazzo's Pizza, Randazzo's Pizza, Randazzo's Pizza, the pizza you're gonna love. It's got the freshest taste that you'll find any place. Randazzo's Pizza, there's one right nearby. Randazzo's Pizza, Randazzo's Pizza. It's a pizza like you've never had before. Eat it or take it home, no matter where you roam. Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find. Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find.
Why would you call anyone else besides Randazzo's Pizzeria and Family Restaurant, 34th and Asbury Avenue in Ocean City. Open year-round, 7 days a week, offering free delivery on the whole island and to the beach. Pizza, pasta, salads, entrees, subs, paninis, and wraps. Voted best of the shore. Call 814-1600. 814-1600.
Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find. Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find.
Why is this oven still going? Hi, this is Dinesh.
Dinesh's Bakery just landed a sweet catering contract.
40 dozen.
We're back here in the locker room with Billy Schweim, Mike Carlin. Yeah, like I said, I wish we had more time with Pat.
You could go on and on.
Yeah, on and on. Hey, I'm going to Randazzo's today, man. I'm getting myself some lobster bisque. The best lobster bisque in the world is right at Randazzo's.
34th Street.
By the
Ocean
way,
City.
Joe Pop, he's great, isn't he, man? Giuseppe Randazzo.
The whole family.
I mean,
the whole
he just,
family is.
and the thing is, their food, every time I go in, he goes, Billy, try this. Billy, try that.
Yeah, they got something. They got new slices now,
Yeah.
specialty slices, and he's got a couple new entrees. He's doing his entrees have really gone up. I mean,
Of course, the dining room is back open.
dining room's
and-
open.
and,
Fresh fish he's using now. Like last night, he had
By the way,
tilapia
his
with crab
chicken,
meat.
any type of chicken dish you get,
Remember, everything's fresh.
the chicken
Nothing
melts
comes
in
out
your
of a
mouth.
box. Nothing comes out of a box.
That's
It's
why
fresh.
that's why Randazzo's been around for all these years. You know why? The food's outstanding.
Yeah.
All right, Mike, real quick. Oh, we're gonna go. So we'll go to lunch there, right? We'll go to lunch. So
We'll
we
go
eat for
today.
lunch? All right.
Yeah.
Eagles tomorrow. Eagles Jets. Eagles are what? Eagles are what? 5-7. Jets are 3-8. Eagles. By the way, the Eagles are the number one rushing team in the league.
Tomorrow we run.
Tomorrow we run. Is that right?
Tomorrow we run.
Is that right? Huh, Mike? We
Tomorrow
run
we
tomorrow.
run. Yeah.
All right. What do you
Our
think?
show's over. Have a good time, guys.
Yeah.
Tomorrow we run.
I'm looking at a dominated game, 24-10. It could be like 24-3, and then they score a late touchdown to make it 24-10. But I don't think we sweat.
By the way,
this
they're
game
not
tonight.
much better against the pass. They're 29th against the pass. So
Yeah,
see, I'm worried that Sirianni sees that. He goes, "Well, Jalen can't run because he's got a bad ankle. So you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna throw the ball against the Jets." That's probably the mindset. So what do you say? 24-10?
24-10.
24-10.
And I don't think we ever sweat it out.
Josh, you want me to give you your pick?
Yeah, I have the Eagles winning. I'm going to go 21-13, just to have a different score. I like the 24-10, 24-13. I feel like 21-24 is kind of around what the Eagles get to.
I heard Mike Gill pick the Eagles too as well.
Yeah.
So
Pete
I
Thompson
start
as well.
to worry. Tomorrow on the show, we're going to have Scott Grayson from Fox 29 News and 97.3 ESPN.com. We'll talk to the fantasy football guru Brian Hartley tomorrow. And Brad Quast is going to check in. He's going to be up at the game at the Jets game.
Inside information.
Inside
What's your
info.
score? I didn't hear
I'll
your
give it
score.
tomorrow. Get to tune in tomorrow.
Okay.
Pete Thompson will be joining me tomorrow as usual. Sunday here in the locker room with Billy Schweim. We got a full lineup of football today right here on 97.3 ESPN. It's a triple header. Baylor and
Let's get home and
Oklahoma
watch
State
TV.
starts us off in
Can't
the
wait.
Alabama-Georgia game. All that and more. Thanks for making the locker room part of your Saturday, because nothing could be finer than talking sports with the Schweiner. Enjoy the football games, and we'll see you tomorrow right here on 97.3 ESPN.
Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's. So thank you if you're one of them.